Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Accounts Cool. So today we are here with a new video in which we are going to perform the vendor reconciliations and we are going to understand about how to do the vendor reconciliations and how to perform the identify the open line items and open differences in the reconciliations. So हम लोग इस वीडियो में वो देख लेंगे and we are going to do the reconciliations based on certain data. We have the vendor ledger statement and we have the our ledger statement as well. So based on that, we are going to do the reconciliation. So request viewers to watch the video till the end to understand the basic way and it's the simplest way to know how to perform the vendor reconciliation. So here, as you see here, we need two data. As per the reconciliations, what we discussed in our earlier videos, for doing the reconciliations, we need two data. One is internal data and second is external data. So here in this vendor reconciliations, this accounts Gurukul private limited ledger statement, this is our internal ledger statement of that vendors, and the second one, that is Vedant's Private Limited. This is the external data and this data of the vendor's data. So now we have the two different ledger statement. One is our internal statement and another one is the external statement. And based on these two data, we have to perform the reconciliations, and that's the vendor reconciliations. So the first thing is that vendor reconciliation में अपन balance working करेंगे and how the balance working we have to do, that we will see from here. And the first step of our reconciliation as well, to see either the opening balances of the both the vendors, that's our vendors, and the opening balance of our, either it's a matching with his opening balances or not. That's the first point that we have to check here. So for as per accounts Gurukul, we'll see what is the opening balance. So here the opening balance, this is a payable credit balance, says we have to pay to the vendor. So 1,76,990, and this is as per the raw data generated from the systems. So I haven't done any formatting for this, but we are going to do that. So for keeping the balance working, we are using the same data. So 1,76,990 is a payable. So we are here. If any withheld tax, TDS या कोई tax deduct करके रखा हुआ है, तो वो यहाँ पे अपन update करेंगे. And the second, how much credit during the year? Credit during the year says that जो हमने जितना purchase किया हुआ है, that we have to add here. Take the total of here to calculate the balance working. So now you can use the formula as well. So from here, how much is the credit during the year? So the credit during the year is 13,46,000. Now, how much we have done the payment during the year? So sum. Now you just come here and take the total of all the debit side. So debit, it means that this is the payment we have done to the Vedant Private Limited. So the total payment during the year is 14,55,000, and considering this, the opening balance, that is payable plus purchase during the year, and if you reduce how much we have done the payment during the year, then the closing balance is 69,254, is still payable to Vedant Private Limited as per our books. How much is the actual closing balance as per the statement is 69,200, and this error is coming because of this data is merged in different cells. So we have to change it and we have to take it into the one cell. And then if you see here, then it's going to do the, and here if you have calculated closing balance and actual closing balance for our and our own statement, is 0. Then similar way, we have to do the same calculation for vendor as well. And how much is a vendor's opening balance? The vendor also is showing 1,76,000 is receivable from the वेदांत प्राइवेट लिमिटेड. सो वेदांत प्राइवेट लिमिटेड जो है उनके बुक्स में भी अकाउंट्स गुरुकुल से 1,76,990 रुपीज इज रिसीवेबल है. सो द वेदांत प्राइवेट लिमिटेड vendor is asking 1,76,000 and हमारे books में भी is payable 1,76,000. So opening balance, there is no any difference in the opening balances. We have just taken the simplest example. There might be the complexity of here as well. And if there is a difference in opening balances, then we have to refer the old reconciliations or we have to perform the reconciliation for that period as well. Now, credit during the year says that the vendors debit as in the vendor's statement, whatever he is doing the debit to Vedant Private Limited. क्योंकि उसके बुक्स में ये सेल है तो वो एंट्री करेगा वेदांत अकाउंट्स गुरुकुल अकाउंट डेबिट टू revenue account. So here this total 16,09,558 is debit during the year. So here, what is the payment? We have to take the entire details of credit जो वेंडर के स्टेटमेंट में वो बैंक अकाउंट को डेबिट करके क्रेडिट अकाउंट्स गुरुकुल को करेगा क्योंकि अकाउंट्स गुरुकुल उनको रीपेमेंट और पेमेंट ऑफ हिज परचेसेस कर रहे हैं. So 13,28,000. So as per the vendor, here the vendor is saying that 4,58,000 अभी भी receivables है from accounts Gurukul, and as per our statement we are showing that 69,254 is payable to him, and we'll see how much is the actual as per the vendor books. So we are here, perfect, 4,58,000. So this is the balance working. So we understood that how much is the difference in opening balance. तो दोनों के opening balance में कुछ difference है नहीं है. Similarly, we calculated how much is a credit during the year. It means that how much we have purchased during the year and how much vendor is saying he dispatched or sold to us. That is 16 lakh. And here credit during the year, what we are showing here, then 14,55,000 we have done the payment, and vendor is saying he got the amount is around 13,28,000. So if you see in these two transactions, there is a difference, and the difference is this much and this much. And if you take the total of these two, it's 3,88,000. Now we know that there is a difference in the entire purchase as well, 2,63,000, and from payment there is a difference of 1,25,000. Total difference is around 3,88,000. So for this, now this is a control of the reconciliation. This is a summary of our reconciliations. Now we have the entire things. Opening balance में difference है या नहीं? जो ड्यूरिंग द ईयर में परचेस सेल रिकॉर्ड हो चुका है उसमें कितना डिफरेंस है, ड्यूरिंग द ईयर में जो पेमेंट हमने किया है एंड वेंडर ने रिकॉर्ड किया है उसमें कितना डिफरेंस है. there might be the different chances either from payment side or credit side as well. It's not only सिर्फ इनवॉइसेस का हो सकता है वेंडर ने डेबिट नोट रेज किया हो या हमारा कोई परचेस रिटर्न हो. सिमिलरली कुछ पेमेंट सिर्फ पेमेंट का डिफरेंस नहीं है, वहां पे भी कुछ क्रेडिट डेबिट नोट परचेस रिटर्न या कुछ टीडीएस का इम्पैक्ट हो सकता है. Ideally, in an entire credit side, our credit and vendor's debit, how much is different? Our debit and vendor's credit, how much is the difference? So we have the calculations now. 88,000 is the difference is there, and after this, now we have to start the matching of the both data, and we have to perform the reconciliations, and that's what we are going to start. So here we need to understand the one thing is that for doing any reconciliation, there should be the key parameter in the both sheet. And what is that? So if you see here, the voucher number, we are able to see in our accounts Gurukul data. And similarly, in the vendor's ledger statement as well, we are able to see some voucher numbers. So voucher number, or there might be हम जो इनवॉइस बुक कर रहे हैं वहां पे हम लोग इनवॉइस नंबर से बुक करेंगे और पेमेंट हम कर रहे हैं वहां पे इंस्ट्रूमेंट नंबर से दैट आवर एनईएफटी नंबर और चेक नंबर मेंशन करेंगे। सिमिलरली वेंडर आल्सो इज डूइंग द सेम थिंग। उनका उसका जो इनवॉइस नंबर है वो सेम इनवॉइस नंबर से अपन यहाँ पे इनवॉइस बुकिंग कर रहे हैं एंड हमारा जो पेमेंट एडवाइस नंबर है वही रेफरेंस नंबर से वो वहां पे रिसिप्ट बुक कर रहा है। अगर इन केस इन दो ट्रांजेक्शन में अगर मिसमैच हो गया फ्रॉम अकाउंटिंग स्टैंड पॉइंट कि वेंडर कुछ इनवॉइस नंबर अलग वे से सेंड कर रहा है एंड एज पर हिज इनवॉइस नंबर इज डिफरेंट, either he is using here the starting of 2021 5156, and if we are doing the accounting only with the 515 5165 or 5166 the last four digits, then it's going to create a problem in the reconciliation. Then we have to identify what is the difference over there and we have to change the numbers for reconciliations. So considering that factor, the two key parameter required is that there should be some similar key on which we are able to do the reconciliation. नहीं तो भी कर सकते हैं, but it's going to be more complicated. And that's reasons giving the simplest solutions to identify the key parameter between the two data. Now here we have the key parameter, that is voucher number, and our statement as well we have the voucher numbers. Then we will start to perform the reconciliations. So we'll change the some formatting of this. Okay, and we'll add the remark for that, debit transaction remark. Now we know how much the debit transactions are there, and this much is the total debit transactions is we have booked, we have done the payment of this much amount, and in the vendor statement, whatever is a credit over there, that we are going to consider as a he recorded the receipt for that. Now here is a one basic control is that we have the voucher number and we are assuming that it's going to be give the same pictures of the voucher number, and based on that we are going to do the use the VLOOKUP here. Now understand, if the voucher number is the same reflecting and if it's voucher number, then if it's a duplicate voucher number, then it's going to be create a problem in the reconciliations. Then we have to go and find out the use the pivot for that. And to identify, there is options, select it, go to the conditional formatting, highlight the sales and say duplicate value, and with the color is red. Now you are able to know that there is nothing duplicate values in his data for voucher number. Similarly, in our ledger statement as well, we can able to find out to that formula, highlight duplicate value. If any values are there, highlight with the red. Then you can see here, there is nothing is duplicate value. It means that there is no any duplicate invoice number or key number is available in this sheet, which we are going to perform as a key number. Otherwise, the VLOOKUP is going to not work and we are not able to get the two pictures. So here we will use the VLOOKUP, identify the difference, if any. So it's equal to VLOOKUP, then is the voucher number. Come back to this sheet, and here the voucher number and the data is in the second row, total. Okay, so it's not matching. The one more thing is that, so for if you are using the VLOOKUP in the same Excel worksheet, then you have to freeze the sales. So how you can do that? Otherwise, it's going to be fluctuate the formula So for that, we have to freeze the formula. So here F4 for freezing, yes. And you can use that, drag that formula for the different line items. So surprisingly, if you see here, कोई भी एक भी number match नहीं हो रहा है, and there is we aren't able to pull out the single numbers. And if you refer this in this sheet, yeah, the number is available 1, 2, 3, 4, but still it's not able to capture here. Why? There is a question why. So the reason is that if you see here, ये जो number है voucher number, that voucher number is in a text format, not in a number format. But here it's in a number format, and because of that reason, the VLOOKUP is not working. So, and this is purposefully we have kept this in text in a vendor template and number in a accounts on our internal ledger statement. क्योंकि we are able to explain to you, क्योंकि ये एक छोटा सा अंडरस्टैंडिंग है जिसकी वजह से if anybody is going to perform the reconciliations तो पता he is not able to perform कि यार एक भी डेटा मैच नहीं हो रहा है, so it means that this data is incorrect, but ऐसा नहीं है. So because of that reason, it's essential to understand how the small things are going to make impact in the reconciliations. So now just select this from here, convert this into the number. And if you see here the magic, all the numbers are reflecting, right? Convert it into the numbers and find out the difference, if any. So this minus this, then oh, everything is perfect. So from the receipt side, but still the receipts in as per our statement, we are as per vendor statement, vendor is showing that 13,28,415 he got the amount and everything is matching with our statement. And in our statement, we are showing that we have done the payment of around 14,54,000. That means there is some payment which is not recorded by the vendor. And what is that? Then here we have to do the cross verifications. Again, we look up. This is a voucher number. From this, we look up voucher number. This is instead of using the vendors, we have to pull the our data from that sheet we look up करके लेके गए थे, because we are reconciling with our data itself. There might be chances कि कुछ उसमें भी डिफरेंस रहे, तो इसके लिए अपने वी लुक अप करके वहां पे लेके गए थे, जो अपना डेटा है जो इंटरनल वही डेटा पुल करके पहले मैच करो, and then the differential amount is going to be open for the reconciliations. Now it's in a fourth and the false bracket close. Okay, again in that VLOOKUP we are using the same Excel sheet. Because of that reason, we have to freeze the formula. So we are here, freeze, drag the formula till the end, and then find out what is the difference. Okay, here we are. And how much is total? Is 13,28,000, and here as well 13,28,000. Okay, and now we identified that there is a one payment of 1,25,000 is not recorded by the vendor. So this is the one we got the difference in the reconciliations. So now change the remark here. The payment match with vendor. I haven't done the formatting in the data because I want to use the same data what we have extracted from the systems. So payment match with vendor, and here the this much is the remark payment not recorded by vendor. Similarly, in the vendor statement, we have to add the remark here, uh, receipt match with customer, because for Vedant Private Limited, we are customer, and for us, the Vedant Private Limited is a vendor, and for the Vedant Private Limited, the accounts Gurukul is a customer. So there is no any difference in the folks. Okay, so this is for the receipt matching. Then we have to do the same way the reconciliations for the credit side as well with his debit side. So here we are. So coming back to the vendors. So in the vendors, first we'll change the formatting of these two numbers, and we are converting that number into the text numbers into the formatting. So credit is payment we recorded. Now we have to do the debit. Say that receipt match the sales from the Vedant Private Limited sales, and for uh, from accounts Gurukul standpoints, it's purchase. So debit remark, and here we are. This is OP, opening balances. So there is no need to worry about it. Now coming back to, okay, so here we are. अरे शुभो तुला 10 मिनिट करणे का? Okay, so here uh, this is for the debit side, and similarly here we have identified the purchase, and from there it's a sale. So we'll use the VLOOKUP again here as well. So VLOOKUP voucher number. So here VLOOKUP then voucher number again for the accounts VLOOKUP ledger statement, and from here is fourth line number. Then this is fourth and false. Okay, again the logic is that we have to freeze this formula. Okay, then drag this formula till the end. Okay, then identify what is the status of here. So opening and this much. So for this, nothing is over there. So number is not captured here. So it's nil. Then how much is there? So we are seeing still it's giving some error. So debit note. Okay. Then the total is around 13,46,000, and here is around 13,46,476, and here as well the 13,46,476, and in our statement as well 13,46,476. तो ये परफेक्ट मैच हो रहा है जो परचेज का है एंड वहां से सेल्स का, मतलब वेंडर स्टेटमेंट में एक्सेस सेल है बट परचेज साइड जो है वो एग्जैक्टली मैच हो गया इन आवर स्टेटमेंट. सो दैट रीजन आई एम नॉट डूइंग द क्रॉस VLOOKUP using, because the same data is there as per the invoice number and reconciliation 13,46, and this is also 13,46. Or we can do the VLOOKUP for that as well to identify exactly if any difference are there. And VLOOKUP, oh, this is opening balance. Then VLOOKUP and voucher number, and from the customer statement is third and false. Again, we have to freeze this formula because we are using into the same sheet, and we have to identify the difference. Okay, so here we are. There is no any difference. जितना यहाँ पे अपन ने परचेस बुक किया है वो exactly उसमें वेंडर स्टेटमेंट से सेल्स में मैच है, उसके अलावा एक्सेस है, बट तो अपने पास अपन परचेस कर रहे हैं वो सेल उसके पास मैच हो चुका है. So for that we can say the update the remark for that is purchase match with vendor. Okay, and similarly in the vendor statement we can use the remark sales match with customer. Okay, so here we are. So from the final remark, we need to identify now from the debit side what is open. So the payment not recorded by vendor. Before that, we'll close the credit side as well. Okay, so from credit side, जितना अपन purchase कर रहे हैं वो 100% match हो गया. Now from debit side, जो डेबिट था जितना अपन ने पेमेंट किया है उसमें से सिर्फ एक पेमेंट उसने रिकॉर्ड नहीं किया हुआ है. That's the open item. In our internal data, now we'll see from the vendor statement what is the open item after the performing the matching. Opening balance तो मैच हो चुका था. From क्रेडिट साइड जितना उसने क्रेडिट रिकॉर्ड किया है वो पूरा अपन ने जितना पेमेंट किया था जितना उसने रिकॉर्ड किया है वो सब पेमेंट अपने स्टेटमेंट में रिफ्लेक्ट हो रहा था. सो नथिंग फ्रॉम द पेमेंट साइड. डेबिट साइड देखते हैं कि उसका जो सेल है वो अपने यहाँ पे क्या है. ओपी हटा दिया अपन ने. ओपनिंग बैलेंस इज मैचिंग. सेल्स मैच विद कस्टमर भी मैच हो गया. नाउ दीज आर ऑल ट्रांजेक्शंस आर ओपन जो ये अपने पास रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं हो रहे हैं. एंड सिमिलरली अपने यहाँ पे एक ट्रांजेक्शन है जो अपन ने पेमेंट किया जो वहां पे रिकॉर्ड नहीं हो गया. एंड सिमिलरली वेंडर स्टेटमेंट पे कुछ ट्रांजेक्शन जो सेल्स है वो मैच नहीं हुए. तो डेबिट नोट. तो व्हाट इज दिस? तो दिस इज डेबिट नोट not recorded by accounts Gurukul. Similarly, this is invoices. तो ये invoices है. तो ये invoices not accounted or recorded by accounts Gurukul. Okay, now we identified that how much is the difference into what is the difference in vendor reconciliations from the performing the matching options, and we come with the open items. Now we have to perform the reconciliations. So here we are. This is Accounts Gurukul Private Limited. Vedant in Accounts Gurukul, the vendor name is Vedant Private Limited, and vendor reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2021. And we are performing reconciliations as on 31st March 2021, and the period for that is from the 1st Jan 21 to 31st March 21. So, okay, so we'll plot the reconciliations. Closing balance as per accounts Gurukul. Then how much is the closing balance as per the accounts Gurukul? And from the balance working, 69,254. Okay. Now, from the invoice standpoint and debit note, so we are showing that there are few invoices raised by vendor but not recorded by accounts Gurukul. So, add invoices raised by vendor not appearing in accounts Gurukul. So vendor invoices vendor ने raise किए हैं, but that's not reflecting into the accounts Gurukul. So how much is total? We have to create the annexure for that as well. So annexure 1. So create the annexure, different annexure for that. Give the same nomenclature. Okay. So here we have to add the details of that. So at any moment, if anybody want any reference for that, then he is able to take that reference and do the further verifications. So here, okay, so just changing doing the formatting. So it's taking some time. Okay, so here we are. This is annexures because this reconciliations there might be we have to require to share with vendor for his approval as well. And whenever we need the backup for that, so the formatting is very essential and this cosmetic changes as well. So debit note is also is going to require for us. So we are removing the debit note from here, and this is a total. And how much is this? Is around 1,82,000. Okay, then so we have to take the total of that is 1,82,000. And the next, there is a one more line items is there, open line items. In that is debit note also is not recorded. So there might be vendor raise some debit note on us and we haven't recorded into the books. So we have to add that as well in our reconciliations. Instead of invoice, we can say debit note raised by vendor not appearing in accounts Gurukul. So that's also going to add into our reconciliations in our balance, that is accounts Gurukul. And how much is that? It's only 80,418. So this debit note, the vendor debited to us and we haven't recorded. So the debit note is 80,480. Now the next, from vendor statement, I think there is all over and nothing is open. Now from the our statement, we have done one payment but not recorded by the vendor. So that's also is going to be part of the reconciliations. So here we are. This is also the we have to add into our balance because we have reduced our balance and the same vendor is not received. So our balance we have to increase with that amount. So payment not recorded by vendor, and we have to create the one annexure for that as well. So that's the annexure third related to the open payment. So payment not recorded by vendor. And here we have to capture the details related to the payment. So if vendor asks us, so it's helpful for us to share the annexures with vendor. This is our check number, and this is the total check amount, 1,25,000. So then we have to take it into the reconciliations at 1,25,798. So the total of all the open line items is that 3,88,880, and the final, the closing balance as per the vendor's books. Closing balance as per Vedant Private Limited, and the total of these two numbers is going to be matched with 4,58,000. Just do the re-verifications. How much is the balance as per the vendor statement as well? It's a 4,58,000, and as per our reconciliation as well, it's a 4,58,000. This is the reconciliation. So we have performed the reconciliations based on the actual data, and this is the vendor reconciliation, and we have to perform like this. Share the actions. We have to update the actionables as well, as we learn from the previous video. सिर्फ reconciliation करके उसको open line item present करना is not the reconciliation. We have to identify the actions, and we have to identify the responsibility as well to see the closure of that line items and going to get the close that open line items is the meaning of reconciliation. So we perform the reconciliation, and the actionables for that reconciliation is that invoice raised by vendors not appearing in accounts pool. The action is on vendor and accounts Gurukul as well. These are all the responsibility on vendor and accounts Gurukul. Here, the action is that vendor to share the invoices with invoices to further check. So vendor is going to share the invoices for that, and accounts Gurukul will see where is that invoices. Either वो material receive हो चुका है या goods in transit है, या before performing reconciliation 31st March के बाद subsequent month में उस invoices को अपन ने book किया हुआ है, that we have to check. Debit note, vendor to share the debit note. Debit note to further check किस चीज का डेबिट नोट मारा है, व्हाट इज द बैकअप फॉर दैट, किस चीज का रेज किया है, वो देगा, तब अपन उसको वेरीफाई कर पाएंगे. एंड पेमेंट नॉट रिसीव्ड, देन दे पेमेंट डिटेल्स टू शेयर विथ vendor. So here we have to share the payment details with the vendor, and the actions, responsibility of both that we have to share, and vendor is going to refer that and going to do the further investigations for that. So this is all from this video. अपन ने देखा कि vendor reconciliation कैसे करना है, and how the open items, how the balance working is essential, how it's going to be matched, how we have to do the matching, open item कैसे identify करना है, how to use the VLOOKUP, what is the key parameter is required for doing the reconciliations. So this is all, and how we have to identify the actionables and responsibility of that closure of open line items as well, whatever we have identified in the reconciliations. So this is all from this video. I hope you guys understood how to perform the vendor reconciliations. Thanks for watching the video till the end, and would request to please like, share, and subscribe, and tap the bell icon to get the future video notification. Thank you.